And joining me here on the anchor desk to talk about this afternoon's proceedings and offer historical perspective is a gentleman who was a delegate to the 1976 Republican Convention when we were both much younger men, the former Chief of Staff to North Carolina Congressman Walter B. Downs, Glen Downs. So, Glen, we see this afternoon. The media makes a big deal out of it, but compared to the convention in Kansas City where you were a delegate, this is pretty tame.
No question about it, J.D. Actually, compared to other historical examples as well. We've reached the point of scripted television so much that when you have a disagreement, it's being characterized as chaos. So this whole thing is, I think, a little bit of a tempest in the teapot over time.
Well, let's find out the view from Cleveland as we are joined via Skype by Florida Congressman Ted Yoho. Ted, a member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, and we appreciate him taking time out tonight from the convention hall. Ted, let me ask you about, first of all, since tonight is Make America Safe Night, let me ask you about enhanced security there around the arena. What is your assessment of the security being provided to everyone in attendance at the convention?
JD, number one, it's a privilege to be here. And the second thing, that hashtag, Make America Safe Again, I think it's been taken to heart because the law enforcement that is here at this convention is second to none. And these guys are working overtime. They're out there, they're greeting people, and they are very focused on what they're doing. And I just give a big shout out to the men in blue, the firefighters, first responders, all those. They're here in force, and you can just feel the emotions with people going by there, thanking them for being here, telling them to be safe, and how much we appreciate them being here. So I don't think you're going to see a problem.
So you talk about the emotions of gratitude outside the arena, but this afternoon, some other emotions took over, and instead of law and order, you had some disorder on the floor. Let me ask you about that whole situation with the voice vote. It was great political theater, but really little comes out of it. What is your perception of that dust-up this afternoon?
JD, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, we kind of expected something was going to happen, and I think over the course of the next 2 days, you're going to see a united conference come around Mr. Trump and make him the next president of the United States. I mean, the sentiment up here, people had voiced their concerns and what they didn't like coming into this convention, so this was kind of expected. But again, I think when we come out of this convention, you're going to see a united Republican Party behind Donald Trump, who will be the next president of the United States.
And of course, Ted, to get there, you have to go through the convention, and the anti-Trumpers remain vocal. They say they're not ready to give up the fight just yet. One of them, of course, Senator Ted Cruz. Here's what Ted Cruz had to say on NBC's Meet the Press yesterday.
Are you going to support Donald Trump if he's the nominee?
I am going to beat Donald Trump. We are headed to a contested convention, and we're going to win, and I'm not willing to concede this country. Listen, this is my kid's future, Chuck. It's not simply a game.
Nobody's saying it's a game, sir.
We lose this. If we lose this, we lose our country. We lose the Supreme Court for a generation. Okay. Religious liberty is taken away. The Second Amendment is taken away. Our kids are bankrupted. We are at the edge of a cliff.
Now, I just heard that, and he's doing the same talking points about beating Trump. Do you expect Ted Yoho, Ted Cruz, to speak tomorrow night? Or in view of his comments and what happened this afternoon, will the Trump forces cancel the Cruz speech?
You know, everything's fluid up here, and there's no telling which way it's going to go. But no, I don't expect him to speak tomorrow night. And if he does, you know, what we have to do is believe in the political process here in America. You know, the American people have put Donald Trump at the head of the ticket. It's time for all of us to come behind Donald Trump and help him become the next president of the Republican part of our nation. And, you know, you're going to see this kind of bantering back and forth. And unfortunately, that's politics. And thankfully, we live in a free country where people can have a voice of dissension. They can speak out. And I'm glad that's in, because you look around the world, you look at what's going on, the unsettlement, the crisis is going on around the rest of the world. And it is so great to be here in America. My goal is to help Mr. Trump become president and make America great again.
Well, let's go to the phones at 1-877-Newsmax, and we head way out west to Bonanza, Oregon for David. David, welcome to Newsmax Prime.
How are you tonight?
Doing fine, sir.
Yeah, I'm fed up with all this prejudice. I got prejudiced when I was a kid, and I grew up in San Francisco, and I got suspended for 30 days because of black people robbed me of a quarter, so I couldn't have my lunch money, and I beat the hell out of them, and then I got suspended, and I feel Obama's brought prejudice back. We come a long way from then, and he's brought it back to this country.
All right, let's talk about that. David, I appreciate your firsthand experience. Glen Downs with me here on the anchor desk. I have observed before that President Obama was supposed to be the first post-racial president, but in many ways he has become our most racial president.
It's really pretty incredible, JD. Obviously, a great many people, in 2008, even Republicans, you and I both know that, voted for Obama, not thinking that Obama was conservative.
Well, let's hasten to say we didn't vote for Obama, but some Republicans did.
That's true, but they did it not because they thought he was conservative or even moderate, but they thought he had the demeanor to bring together these various divisive factions, get people sitting down at the table and talking that weren't doing so. But now we're in a situation where obviously, the people are more divided than ever, more polarized than ever, and so whatever Mr. Obama's intentions have been in this regard, they failed. If he's had good intentions, they failed miserably.
Let us go back to the phones now to Naples, Florida for Emil. Emil, welcome to Newsmax Prime. Sir, what's on your mind?
Oh, thank you so much that I haven't got to you because I drive this since 2 months to talk
Well,
to you.
here you are, so let's make it count, Emil.
Yeah, I believe that the Republicans should stay behind Trump and reunite and avoid everything what comes from the Obama side and the Clinton side to destroy this country.
All right, Emil, let's see what Ted Yoho has to say. Ted, it sounds like Emil is speaking your language in terms of getting everybody united and heading for November.
JD, I couldn't hear the question all the way, his answer, but I think you're going to see that coming out of this. You know, Ted Cruz was right saying we cannot afford to lose this election. Hillary Clinton cannot be the next president of the United States. You're going to see a rollout of the Obama administration Part 3 on steroids, and it won't be good for America, and we will lose this country. Donald Trump is the only person that can sit down and bring that group together, and we met with him in the Republican conference, and I can tell you, virtually everybody that came out of that room, when we went into it, they weren't always behind Donald Trump, but when they came out of there, that was the most unity I had seen in the Republican Party behind Mr. Trump, and he had calmed a lot of people's fears. One of them was over the Supreme Court nominees and the process that he went through, and that put a lot of people at ease. And they also saw how well he was going to work, bringing people together, solving problems. Donald Trump is the clear victor of the nomination process, and we just need to move forward and unite our nation around, not just our nation, but the Republican Party around Donald Trump.
Congressman Ted Yoho tonight from Convention Hall in Cleveland. Sir, we thank you. Glen Downs here on the anchor desk. Just a quick comment for you, 20 seconds. It's good to hear Ted talk about the unity coming out of the Republican conference, and yet Speaker Ryan again says today Trump's not, quote, his kind of conservative.
Well, what's happened is you've had a new couple of waves of newer, more conservative, grassroots-oriented members of Congress getting elected, and the Republican leadership in the House is in danger of being left behind.
And boy, you take a look at Paul Ryan. He may be presiding over the convention. He's got a tough primary with Paul Nehlen there in the 1st District of Wisconsin. Coming back, Diamond and Silk. They're at the convention. They join us live with their inimitable style and commentary as Newsmax Prime continues.